Hi everyone, welcome back to the channel. In this video, we will be going to learn about RDS proxies, what exactly it is, and how we can use it in our production servers. So basically, RDS is your fully managed, highly available database proxies that sits between your application and your Amazon RDS or Amazon Aurora databases, whatever the database that you have been required or and you are going to deploy it on the production server. So instead of your application connecting directly to the databases, it connects to the RDS proxies. Basically, if you have a 1000 application is trying to access your databases, so sometimes there will be a chances that under the major number of if we have a lot of traffic should be coming through the RDS process, your applications, your database CPU should be get increased and your connections should be get disconnected. So in that situation, we need to create something that that will remain in front of your remote databases, and it will work as a pool connection create. So it helps you to create a in between your application and RDS proxy. It works as a connection pool. So if suppose some due to some outage or due to some connections, it will create a uh, it will open a new connections to the remote databases and fetch the data from it and connect to your application. Let's suppose if we have a 1000 users and we have need to connect with that to databases, and that we have a, and we need 1000 database connections to the remote RDS. So the problem should come up when you going to connect with it, that your database connection limit should reach, and you have a high CPU usage and increased memory consumptions and showing slow response times. In that situation, RDS proxy should work as a as a solution provider that will going to help you introduces existing connections and reduces database loads and handles connection pooling automatically. So basically, the multiple features that we have for it, that is your connections pooling, maintaining a pool of database connections, and uses idle connections, reduces connection creation overhead. So, and if there will be any fast failovers of the primary databases fails, then we can create a second. It can connect with the secondary database if they will be available for it. So, without proxy, your application should be get disconnected and your downtime should be increased. So, but whereas in your proxy, you have a fast recovery with minimal application impact, and it will also increase your improve scalability if you have a databases multiple reasons and there is a scaling of your databases are happening around. So it might be there is a latency in between performance of your databases fetching data from the databases. So in that situation, it also helps you to handle the high traffic, and your API connections and serverless applications and conditions. It also provides database authentications and secret manager integrations. So it definitely helps you to create a secure connections with your remote databases. So if there will be any security breach, so it will disconnect that loop and create a new connection with the authentications. So multiple databases that it supports there, that is your RDS MySQL, Aurora MySQL, RDS Postgres, Homogen Aurora Postgres. So these are the things that we have for it. So let's go to the how we can connect and create a remote databases, uh, remote data proxies, RDS proxies as a demo. So here we have already one databases are running here. So we will go to the database and click on it, and we can go to the actions and create you can take a snapshot as well. We can go to what it is. Switch. RDS Proxy. So here under your proxy, under your connection and connectivity and security sections, you will go to the endpoints and click on the endpoint type. We are not using instance, we are creating an RDS proxy endpoints. So you will just click on it, create proxies. So you will direct to the RDS proxy sections. So right here we are creating a RDS proxies for MariaDB MySQL. You have other options as well for Postgres and SQL servers. So here you need to provide the proxy name that you would like to make. Then you will have to provide your idle client connection timeout. So for how much time it will be required to be get connected and getting a response from it. If there will be in the specific time you are not getting a timeout, if you are not getting mm, responses, then your connection should be getting disconnected from that RDS proxies. We all know that there is an authentication TSS certification. Authentication should be get done through it. So after that, you need to select your databases name, what type of target connection network type you need to connect for it, like your IPv4, IPv6. You can do that. Uh, maximum pool connections that we have provided here, we are creating 100. You can also create here according to the requirement of your um, and the maximum pool idle connections. So it basically helps you to maximum limit of your databases that will be as a percentage that will be remain for the idle connections should be remain idle. So if there will be any issues, so it will connect to the it will helps you to under the extreme conditions it will be able to switch over to the idle connection. So whatever the idle connection should be available for there, so it will be remain available and it is your connection endpoints to be secured and secure and not being disconnected. So after that, we have options of additional target with configuration. You can create or session training filters as well there as well. You can connection borrow timeout. You can select out of it. Uh, After that, we have an authentication time. If you would like to create a default authentication that the proxy uses for client connection to the client connection to the proxy to the database, you can create an authentication like even if you would like to create an IAM rule for it, so the specific rule or specific rule with persons or users should be get connected with the RDS, so you can provide that as well. So after that, you will select IAM authentication. You can select if you can create a new rule, or you can select out of your available rules as well. Then you can use this if you have created any secrets under the secret manager, then you can select out of it and configure it as well. So right now we are not doing anything right related to it. So we have hide it. So the what are the kind of authentication type you can use? You can use the native passwords, or you can use an SHA password to for it. Right now, for we are not allowing any notable. Yeah. So right now we are not allowing any IAM authentication there for this demo. So for connectivity, if you require a transport layer security of all your RDS, so that it provides a protocol that provides security for communications over the network. So someone should not be able to interact in between the client and the remote databases and fetch any data that is being transported from your client to the databases. So it provides a security for your data transport from a client to the RDS remote database services. So if you like to create an endpoint network type, you can select like suppose how you will going to connect with your whatever the network type should be. It should be an IP4, IPv4 or IPv6 or dual stack mode that will be according to the network requirement. So then you can select them out of the available subnets that we have right now. in availability zones for the availability to different availability zones for increasing your availability of your connections. So it will remains available for it for your reducing the latency of your um, proxies. So right now for that, that's it from this. So once you will get created, click on create proxies, your data your RDS proxy should be created, and you will have a RDS proxies endpoint through which you can connect with your through any CLIs or choose any CLIs. Once you will go to the CLI and click on run MySQL hyphen hostname, that will be the RDS proxy hostname, and with your username and a password that you'll be getting that you have created or used under the secret managers that you can provide here. And after that, you will find that your MySQL connections have been created and your connections has been created, and you can fetch the data from the remote databases and check that you can when you are getting a direct connections to the databases, either you are getting the same database or schema names or not, or after creating an RDS proxy, or you're getting the data or data similar data or not from from your remote databases like the schema databases, tables, procedures. So these things should definitely help you to uh, create and have an understanding of RDS proxies. So that's it from this lectures. We will get you and give you another AWS service overview in the next lecture. Thank you for this time. Thank you for your time. Good luck. Bye.